What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Again, before I start, those of you that haven't already, go to Food and Fallons. Check out the homie's channel. He does food reviews. I've been on there. Little Easy. There's been other people on there, and there will be many more. Things are coming in the next. Let's give them a month, and then you guys are going to be very happy with who's on and what we're doing. Also, do me a favor. Those of you that get this, that this pops up for you. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Hit the notification bell and hit all. Those of you that are already subscribers, if you saw this and you haven't seen me in a while, check your notifications. Make sure they're on all and not on personalized. Now, today's video. Can you make a real friend within the California Department of Corrections? That is such a tricky question. You know, people think that there's this camaraderie in there, carnalismo and all that. And, you know, that is the myth. That is what people like to say. But is that the reality? 99.9% of the time, it's not the reality, right? I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna get into it a little bit. I'll tell you right now. The reality of living within the Department of Corrections is this. Everyone is a potential rival, especially within your own crew. Everyone is a potential rival. Now, anytime I got a new cellie, and I'm sure, I mean, if they had any schooling, they were doing the same thing, right? Anytime I got a new cellie, I'm paying attention. Does he have a limp? Does he complain about certain areas of his body? Like he's got a bad shoulder, he's got a bad knee, he's got a bad ankle. We need to know these things. This is important information because you don't know mentally where he's at. You don't fully know his background, even though you check his paperwork when he comes in. There might be something that slid through the cracks. You may have to get on this fool. And so you're looking for weaknesses. You're listening for weaknesses. You know, he might lose his mind one day. You have to be able to know what to attack, especially if he's a bigger dude. Size don't mean nothing, especially if you know he's got a weakness. But that's the reality that you enter in the CDC, right? And I will tell you, there's different types of people in there. I've met individuals where them and their crew made a pact, and you hardly hear about it, but I heard it on more than one occasion. Vatos that make a pact that they're gonna become legends, right? And once one of them in their crew becomes a legend, they're gonna pull the rest of them. This is the thing they have in their mind, right? And in my experience within the Department of Corrections, in my experience, those vatos that make that kind of pact, that set it out as that's the goal to be one of them, that's the goal, I don't trust them. I don't trust them because they've made a pact to put themselves first. They are not about the camaradas. They're about themselves and that little crew, 4 or 5 dudes. And I've seen these dudes when they get together on the yard and they have this pact. And the things that they're willing to overlook. Because remember, if one fucks up, they all fuck up. It works both ways. One gets in, he'll try to pull them all in. But when one fucks up, that's a reflection on all of them. Right? So I've seen those people. Those vatos that I've done time with and they became legends. We knew each other before and they became legends. The ones that had the camaradas first, those are the ones that are like, hey, all right. You know what I mean? That's when you know you can trust. Now, getting back to, can you really have a friendship in there? And it's a very tricky question, man, because everyone in prison is expendable. Everybody. You know, you've been seeing lately, there's been legends that have been getting hit. That's their business, not ours. But everyone is expendable. Nobody is untouchable in that world, man. So when you make a friend, when you really embrace somebody, you're not going to do that on more than a couple occasions in there. You can't, because people come and go. And you don't want to, because while you're cool with that dude at that moment, you don't know what may happen a year from now, 2 years from now. And the one that they're going to ask to take him down is his friend. So that's one of the things that people out here, my family, and you know, people that know me, they feel like, I think they feel sometimes that I'm detached. It's not that I'm detached. It's, I've seen tens of thousands of people come in and out of my life. You know, think about that in prison. Somebody comes and they might only be there for a week and they're gone. You might have known him before, or you might have just met him. You're like, hey, that vato's all right, eh? And he's gone. So you learn to just, you know, chop it up with them, do it, but you're not going to get emotionally invested. You can't. You cannot do that in prison. Again, there are people that I consider friends, and that bond was created in prison. When I did the story on my Sally Blanco, that's a friend of mine. To this day, we can talk, right? There's other vatos. I just had a lifer get at me, and he and I are friends. And he watches the channel, and I remember, as cool as we were, there was a moment in time, this new lifer that just got at me, there was a moment in time where I had to threaten him. You know, he's out now. I'll tell you. He had his lady bring whoever my old lady was at the time. They came together, right? And the homie was he was hitting dope. And so I told him, hey, Holmes, if you're going to be doing anything this weekend, let me know. And my lady can come with somebody else, or she can come in her own ride. But I don't want her riding dirty with you. He's like, nah, homie, this weekend I'm just going to kick it with my lady. Ain't nothing happening. I said, okay. And he happened to be seated ahead of me, right? So I saw the whole thing go down. So I told my lady at the time, I said, look at this, what this motherfucker just did. So when he got up to go use the restroom, I told him, I'm going to use the bathroom. And I walked over and I told him, hey, Holmes, I saw what you did, eh? I said, if you get cracked, we're going to sell up, homie. I'm going to get you. I'm letting you know right now. That was disrespectful. He was like, no, you know, I didn't know she was going to do it. But that's what I'm saying. Me and this dude were cool as fuck. We used to be Sallies and everything. But you don't know what the next vato has in mind. You know, I know he was probably sick. Or maybe he, you know, a lot of times these dudes that hit dope in there, that use, they dip a little too deep into their own shit. And then they got to borrow from another dope man. And then they got to hurry up and pay him back. It's a whole weird thing, man. That's what I'm telling you. I never used. I saw all the stupid shit that comes with it. But even though me and him were cool, when I saw that, I told him it was going to go down. Luckily, nobody got cracked. And I actually made sure I got some of what he brought in, just because that's just the way it is in there, though. You know, there were people in there, you know, I mean, shit, I was on the yard with my own primo, and that's my blood. But prison being prison, you still don't let yourself get attached. It's a very cold world, man. You know, That's why I appreciate my family. I appreciate those few people that I allow into my life out here. Because I know, and this is look at the end of the day, here's the thing. I'm gonna close with this. No matter where you are, if you're behind the walls or you're out here, any relationship that you form, what is the foundation of it? If the foundation is something materialistic, something that could be taken away, then you built your fucking house on the weakest foundation possible. Because once that materialistic thing is gone or those things are gone, what the fuck do you have? But if you base a friendship out here or in there based on like-mindedness, based on respect, that's going to go a whole lot longer, a whole lot further. So, anybody having any issues with people in their lives, whether it's a friend, whether it's your old man, your old lady, whatever, what was your foundation built on? Be honest with yourself. If you built your house on a weak foundation, the first rain is going to wash it away. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out.